If you have ever wondered, is it really possible to start a successful coaching business while working full time? You are in the exact right place, and I am going to walk you through exactly how to do that effectively. If we haven't met before, my name is Olivia Chapman. I am the CEO of IGC Coaching School, and we have trained thousands of ICF credentialed certified coaches who are making six figures and beyond in their coaching business, and most of them started while working a full-time job, myself included. I was a full-time public school teacher, starting and building my business before school, after school, summer break, which is a little bit of an advantage. So teachers, this is definitely for you. But if you are working a normal 9 to 5, it is absolutely possible. And I am going to break down exactly how you can get started with your coaching business while working full-time. So let's jump right into it. Number one, the very first thing that you're going to do, as cliche as this may sound to some of you who are kind of consuming nonstop personal development or business development stuff, you have to start with your why. There is nothing that's going to get me out of bed at 5 a.m. quite like my why. And listen, at this point, I am not getting up at 5 a.m. unless I have to catch a flight or something. But when I was first starting and I was working full time and starting my business, that was my wake up time because I had set myself up to be out of my job. I needed to be out of my job in the first few months. I did not want to wait a year. I did not want to go back to school the next school year. I needed to Zoom as quickly as possible to replace my salary. And yes, that meant for a good 6 months, I was waking up 4:30, 5 a.m., working on my business before going to work. There is nothing that's going to motivate me to do that unless I have an extremely strong why. So you have to get clear on that. You have to understand, what is this actually for? And it's got to be bigger than money. And it's got to be bigger than like, I just don't like my job. Go deeper. So if that means you need to create a vision board of what your life is going to look like when you're full time in your coaching business, or if that means you really just need to journal intensely on what this is all for, that is your jumping off point. Without that purpose, without that vision, it's going to be very, very difficult to get up early, stay up late, work essentially two jobs, like working your full-time job and your business. It's going to be hard to turn down those happy hour plans. It's going to be hard to turn down those weekend plans, those vacations, whatever those things are, social events. But when you are strong in your why, when you are strong in your vision, when you are strong with a reason beyond yourself for why you want to get into business in the first place, that is going to be the thing that gets you out of bed. So without that strong reason, you won't even make time. So if you're not willing to look at the purpose piece and look at the deeper level of things, the rest of this video isn't really going to do anything for you because you're going to have no reason to do those things. So number one, get clear on your why, write it down, put it in front of you, set it as your alarm, have it on a poster board in your office, or if you in your bedroom, wherever it may be. That vision is going to be the only thing some days that gets you to do the actual work of starting the business. All right, let's move on to number two. You've got to set a realistic schedule. I don't know what's realistic for some people versus myself. I fortunately started my business as a single woman. I then got unexpectedly pregnant a few months in, so that really drove things home for me to need to make money quickly. But I did not have a partner to deal with. I didn't have kids to deal with at the time. So a realistic schedule for me really didn't mean working before sun up until after sundown for about 6 months. I would even go into saying like up to a year. Just because when you are starting a business, there is a lot more work that goes into the first couple of years of business. And then, of course, once you've established yourself and you've built a practice, it does not take nearly as many hours. However, when the business is a baby, the baby is demanding. But you have to set a realistic schedule for yourself. We have a great video on an exact 10-hour work week, what to focus on and how to chunk your time day by day. I'm going to link it here so that you can watch that when you're done with this. But you have got to set a realistic schedule for yourself. I do not think that if you cannot find 10 hours in your week that you should start a coaching business. If you don't have at least 10 hours in your week, I would leave this episode. You have to be able to put in at least 10 hours a week to see some traction. Obviously, the more you put in at the beginning, the more you get out. Business, especially from the startup phase, is very simple input output, but you need to block off those 10 hours on your calendar immediately. Coaching is never going to be about like grinding like 40, 50, 60 hours a week. That is not what your coaching business is going to look like. But unless you make time to do some of the tasks that must be done to create revenue, to create clients, to create connections, to create your business, to create your brand, you're not going to have those. You're never going to see the benefits of your coaching business. You're never going to have that freedom lifestyle that you desire if you just dabble. It has to be treated like a solid business if you actually think you're going to make solid income from your business. This is not a get rich quick thing. One trick that I have always found very, very useful, especially in the startup phase and in setting those hours, is making sure that every space I would have on my calendar where I desire to have a client. So say it was, Monday evenings from 5 to 8 p.m. and Wednesday afternoons from 4 to 6, whatever I had that I was like, ideally I would have a coaching client in this place. Those would be the time blocks that I would have on my calendar to work on my business. Most people want to have around 10 coaching clients. It's a minimum of 10 hours. Those 10 hours at first need to be set aside for business tasks. And like I said, check out that other video that I linked here so that you can look at how you can fill that 10 hours a week and ultimately grow your coaching business while working full time. Okay, number 3. You got to start with getting trained and credentialed. Why? You can build that foundation while you're still employed. We actually have a lot of students also whose employers pay for their tuition. So that could be an avenue that you go through, but you want to start with training and credentialing, especially if you are full-time employed. You already know at that point the value of professional development. You probably already know at that point the value of feeling really confident in your expertise, in your certification, or in your degree, or in your line of work. When you skip that step and you just go, nah, I'm just going to start a coaching business with no experience, no training, no certification, no credentialing, you often get to this place where people don't take you seriously, or you get to a place where you are again dabbling, because you didn't take yourself that seriously. So you want to start by getting trained and credentialed. This can be something that you do after work. Most of our classes are in the evening. This can be something you do on your lunch break. But when you skip that part of really investing in yourself and in your business, there is a bit of a disconnection in who's going to invest at a high level in you when you haven't invested in a high level in you. At this point, 80% of paying clients, I'm not talking about people who are like, oh, coaching sounds cool, I would love to do that, but 80% of people who are willing to invest or pay for coaches will only hire a credentialed coach. So similar to a contractor getting a license, a therapist getting a license, a cosmetologist getting a license, you need something as a coach. Do not skip that step. It doesn't make sense. The smart humans who are growing 6-figure coaching companies are getting trained and certified so that it ultimately speeds up their ability to earn that in the US at this point, 2025, $297 an hour rate for coaching services. Now, yes, you can sell people services at that amount without being credentialed and trained, but can you really? Technically you can, but can you? You need to ask yourself that. Do you feel comfortable getting on a consultation or getting on the phone with someone and telling them that your fee is $300 an hour with no training to back it up? That's up to you. Some people will tell me, yes, I do feel comfortable with that. Other people will say, no, I just want to dabble here and there. The price is made up. All right. So you have to feel confident saying, I am X type of coach, and this is what it costs to work with me. And if you can do that 100% confidently and you can lead a client through a transformation without ever being trained and certified, then go ahead. But if you know that you're not going to be able to confidently have that conversation, let alone lead them down this path of actual transformation, then after work, you're going to training, you're going to class, you're practicing, you're doing partner coaching, you're getting evaluated, you're in part of a professional development community that when you are saying okay, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in, you are not going to have an ounce of you that is wondering if you actually have a legit product, meaning a good coaching offer to sell. Because when you're trained and certified, you pass the credentialing exam, you get your calls reviewed and evaluated, and you know you are excellent. You are going to feel like a whole different person charging a premium for your services. Let's move on. Number 4, you want to be practicing coaching early. You want to be practicing coaching at your current job, if it's possible. Practice using those coaching questions, practice active listening, practice holding people accountable. You may also want to be taking on some pro bono clients on the side. People either are for this or against it. Whatever. They can be pro bono, low bono, meaning a lower cost. They can be sliding pay scale. It doesn't matter. But there's 2 reasons I want you to be coaching. while you're building this business. One, of course, for practice. You can self-evaluate those calls. You can get testimonials. You can get great client feedback. It's going to help you hone in on the best coaching offer and where you really shine as an excellent coach. And number two, it is going to get you in the essence of being a coach. In IGC, we say that true coaches, when they're actually coaching, it's a back to being, meaning when this is your purpose, when this is your passion, when you feel alive in supporting people and helping people, the act of doing that is going to re-ground you in your purpose. It's going to re-inspire you on your mission. It's going to bring you back to being, bring you back to the person that you know that you are. And that alone, that ties back into step number one, like being clear on your why. You do not want to skip the part of your purpose where you're actually in it. Setting up a website, doing social media, making Google Doc after Google Doc of your plans and your business plan and your coaching offer and blah, 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 blah. That's fine. That's, you're working in your business. But what you really, really do not want to skip out on is the actual delivery, the actual reason that you're doing this. So whether it's speaking in groups or hosting workshops or having one-on-one clients or having a podcast or creating different types of digital courses or journals or however it is that you decide to use your coaching skills, you want to actually be doing that. You want to actually be practicing coaching. Totally key, especially early on. And obviously, once you're further in, you don't really have to necessarily be practicing because you will have paid clients. Okay. Step number 5, if you are working full time while building your coaching business, is to create one simple offer. Just one simple offer that you're obsessed with, that you could yell from the rooftops over and over again. That is an easy offer for someone to say, I have that problem. Yes, I need help solving it. So that they are able to self-select and say, that is what I need. Overcomplicated offers are going to overcomplicate your sales process, going to overcomplicate your business, and completely stall your ability to earn. If the goal is to get out of the 9-to-5, we need to simplify the track to get there. So having one simple offer is all you need. 1 3-month one-on-one coaching package, 1 6-month group program. One thing. Do not overcomplicate things with funnels and websites and doing a million different things. One offer. I started with one offer. It was either a 3-month one-on-one coaching offer where we met weekly, or you could spread it out over 6 months where we met bi-weekly. The charge was $1,500. Whether they did it in 3 months with weekly coaching or whether they did it in 6. That was it. It was called Quit Your Day Job, Find Your Dream Job. And it was a career coaching package. And I named it that because I was very basic and very brand new, but I would still recommend that today. And I think I did so well selling that offer because it was so easy for someone to say, that's what I need. And that one simple offer was the thing that got me out of my teaching job within months and out earning my teacher's salary by like 4 times that amount in my first year. If you're unclear on that, we have a lovely quiz. I'm going to link it in the notes. glowcircle.com/niche. You can take this full assessment of your personal experience, your professional experience, what you love helping people with. It only takes you about 5 minutes, but then once you're done, it's going to tell you what niche, as well as different sub niches that you could, create your one simple offer around. And then it's going to email you an exact template for creating that one simple first offer. Highly recommend sticking to it. You're going to hear a lot of noise in the coaching industry. Do this, do that, try this, sell this. One simple offer. Tunnel vision on the offer. Once you sell that 10 times and you're making 5, 10K a month with your one-on-one clients, then you can leave that job and you can go into your business full time and you can expand your offer suite all you want. But the real jump is making sure you have a solid foundation to leave that 9-to-5 if that's what your goal is. And the best and fastest way to do that is to have one simple offer that you can sell at any given time. Number 6, we're almost all the way through. Use your free time wisely. And one of the things that I want to say inside of that is protect your energy and protect your space. So who you surround yourself with. If you are used to going to family events every weekend, I'm not saying don't go, but protect your business. Meaning, do not tell people that are not going to support you. Do not talk about this in a crowd of people who have never gone after their dreams. Do not bring up your coaching business to people who have never even gone to a therapy session and think it's all a bunch of quacks. Do not share your business idea with people who you know are secretly already jealous of you. Do not share your business with people at work who may or may not truly have your back. You need to use your free time, your social settings, your nights and weekends, whatever you want to call it, your energetic space in your calendar wisely. Go to networking events. Go to the cutest, coziest cafe ever on a Saturday afternoon and work on your business from a place where you feel inspired. Meet up with a meetup group of entrepreneurs. Get yourself at yoga studios or wellness spas or med spas or wherever where they also mix self-care or life coaching techniques if that's your niche. Use your time wisely. It does not mean that you're glued to a laptop 24/7, but it also doesn't mean that you're showing up to the family barbecue expecting Uncle Fred, who's never done anything for himself in his entire life, to back up your idea. You are not to put yourself in situations that are going to make you feel bad, guilty, weird, self-conscious, uncomfortable, or worried about the vision that is on your heart, on your mind, and likely on your computer screen. Do not surround yourself. People push back on me on that one so much, but you have to protect your peace. And if you are constantly in spaces, places, communities where your highest level purpose and vision are not celebrated, get out. Easier said than done, but not impossible. There are many, many other things to talk to family members about. Many, many other things. The books you're reading, the shows you're watching, the podcasts you're listening to, what happened to so-and-so from high school. But if you know that your dream and vision is going to be smashed down, don't bring it up. All right, last one. Number 7 is to be creating your exit plan. I don't care how many times you may or may not have to move the dial or move the calendar of when your last day is, but you are backwards planning from that day. So if you know you are putting in your 2 weeks notice on January 1st, 2026. You build the exit strategy back from that place. You build it backwards from that place. What has to happen by when in order for you to be out by this date? Now, I don't recommend doing it the Olivia way, which was accidentally getting pregnant. And God bless my 10-year-old son at this point, who brought me to this point. But you got to find something that drives you to stick to that plan. And I recommend setting the vision date, setting the exit date. What do you need? What income do you need? What time do you need? What support do you need? What credential do you need? What network do you need to be in? What communities do you need to be in? And build it backwards from that. And once you have that, that is when you tap back into that purpose, tap back into the why. Is it so that you can be home with your kids? Is it so that you have more freedom? Is it so that you have more flexible schedule? Is it so that you can travel and work from wherever? Is it so that you can have an unlimited income ceiling and be able to give back to your community in different ways? Is it so that you can homeschool? Is it so that you can open an animal sanctuary? Is it so that you simply can rid your body of stress and be a healthy person who lives longer? What is that thing? And when you build the exit strategy, you have this in mind. And when the plan needs to be rewritten, you go back to the purpose. And that's why I put that as number 1 and number 7. They tie a bow on this entire process. With all that being said, you do not have to quit your job immediately to start a business, but do have to be tactical. You do have to be strategic. You do have to act like a CEO. You do have to get supported, and you do have to stick to what you say you are going to do. That is the essence of a great coach. It's the essence of a great business person. And it's the essence that brings your purpose to life. You cannot fail at this unless you quit at this. All right, I gave you a lot of extra resources kind of baked into this episode as well. Make sure they are all in the comments below. If you are ready to get going, if you are ready to do this, obviously book a call with our team, innerglowcircle.com/call, and also go watch that 10-hour work week video. Go check it out and get that everything in your calendar that needs to happen. And if credentialing is something that needs to happen in your calendar, go and book that call with our team. Because when you have that level 2 credential, when you have that ICF backing, it warrants that $300 an hour rate. All right, let's go. Can't wait to see you quit your 9 to 5. See you next time.